When Ebola started, first it was like you couldn't believe that it's happened. And then it became worse and worse, and I realized they are really, really scared, and they don't know what to do.
Ebola came in with fear and panic, and people were denying the fact that it's real. So people were really suffering and struggling. We were looking at how we can help our people better understand and break the chain of transmission or break the chain of infection.
I started to think about it. How could I help them? And I thought about Prosocial, and I thought this is made to move people, to get people into action, to shift behavior. And would it be able to apply that to groups in Sierra Leone? This Ebola outbreak became so bad because of a combination of factors. The virus is most active when somebody just died. And the cultural practices in Sierra Leone were that to honor your dead relatives, you treat them in a very kind way. So you touch them, you wash them, you dress them.
They also pay respect to the dead, put perfume, say their last word. In the context of Ebola, this was absolutely absent. Because why? This was one of the ways that people contact the disease.
All the village comes and people from far, all the relatives, they come and touch the body. And this is how it started to spread.
So it was difficult for people to, first of all, even accept that it's real. That's the point. And it was also difficult for people to really look at what would be the best way.
We saw two things. We had to educate people what a virus is and how it spreads. And then we needed to look with them how they could shift their behavior. And this was really, really hard for people.
So what we did, we trained 50 teachers. We trained them as trainers in art. And so they went out using the ACT Prosocial approach to reach out to 94 sections in Bo District. We did not tell our people what to do, but we just teach them the prosocial approach, the 8 principles, and they adapt it to their culture. They adapt it to their context and look at the issues around them.
This is why Prosocial works so fine, because it's this framework, and we gave it to people, and we asked them, so what's really important for you? And people said things like, what's really important for me is to honor my dead relatives. And what's really important for me is the health of my family. And what's really important to me is that my community stays healthy. And then I asked, what are the barriers for you to act like that? And they said, we are so scared, we don't know what to do, and we are angry that we should not take care of our dead relatives. And then they looked at the behaviors that would not be helpful, and that would be to do it anyway, to do what they did all the time.
The prosocial approach was used to reach out to our people. And they came up with an idea wherein they identify the banana trunk to replace the dead. They use the banana trunk wrapped in a white cotton, and then they bury the banana trunk in dignity and respect. And this was really, really powerful. So people, we are really, really using it to at least have a space where they can express their emotions, where they can express what they are faced with. They say the last word to this banana trunk. They kiss the banana trunk. They perfume, they did a lot. So it was like so powerful for them. This was how our people break the chain of transmission, the Ebola infection. The principles, they look at the benefits and costs, for example. And they say the benefit for us to do this is that we will not be infected. And the cost is for us to just not touch. This was how we get to zero infection.
People talked about proportional cost and benefit. What do you give and what do you get? So people invested into the new behavior. They agreed to the new behavior. And people who did not do it, they had to pay a fine, and they were reported to the government or to the chief. And this is how people kept up this new behavior.
We use the design principles to help our people put up structures that they can work with in their community. And one of the important part is that we do not tell them that this is what you should do. They just adapt it.
It works within the culture, and it works for people because they decided and they chose we want to do that. And I mean, it's very clear that people rather will do what they chose themselves than what anybody else told them. What was evident in our district, the infection rates were much lower than in other districts, despite our district had been one of the hotspots in the beginning.
I was looking at Ebola, how it was spreading like wildfire. We have a village they call Kalia. We have about 47 people died of Ebola. A small village, 47 people died there. We really appreciate that we have this tool and we are able to help our people to better understand, and it was adaptable to the context. It's all about being flexible, you know.